Hello, this is Juliet Gladies Jayasuria. Welcome to Evaluate to Motivate segment. In this segment, we will be talking to champion evaluators to learn from them the art of evaluation. Today, we have with us Abhishek Chattopadhyay, who is the evaluation champion in districts in 2016 in Abu Dhabi, 2018 in Kuwait, and 2020 in Qatar. Wow, what a great history you have, Abhishek. Welcome to this Evaluate and Motivate session.
Thank you, Dr. Juliet.
Okay, so let's get started. So, the first question to you, Abhishek, tell us about your journey as an evaluator. When and how did you discover that evaluation is your strength?
Going back, I joined Toastmasters in somewhere 2008. And from there onwards, I've been trying to do the evaluation. But I never succeeded because I was probably one of the many evaluators who were trying to do a general evaluation, which was not really what the evaluation is all about. Fast forward somewhere in 2012, 13, I started to recognize one particular evaluator who used to win all the contests. And I started to think, what is it doing different? What is that is making him so unique and winning every time? And then I realized that to be a good evaluator, you need to have a niche effect, which means you are something standing apart from the rest. And your evaluation, your style, your way of putting the things across has to be unique for it to stand out of the race. And that's how in 2016, when I started to completely change and adopt a new style of my own, I went through the area, in the division, and then it was quite surprising for me the first time I went to district. It was the first time I went to district, actually. And those days, district was the 7 countries all together. The whole of Middle East used to be one district, except Saudi. So we had this contest in Abu Dhabi, and they used to have 2 rounds. One was the prelims, one was the final. And when I went up on the stage in the prelims and when I gave that evaluation, I really realized that I have made a big difference on myself. And that's where I started to realize there's something in evaluation which I can make best use of it.
That's fantastic to hear your journey, Abhishek. It's always important to self-realize where we are good at and to work on those areas. So, having said that, what are the strategies to be adopted to open an evaluation speech? What was the experience?
Evaluation speech is like selling a product, because you're going to give someone something which he or she doesn't really need or want to have it. If I tell you to do something different in your life, you're not welcoming that change, because everyone is adverse to changes, right? So you're going to give an evaluation to a person and tell the person of what are the things they have done wrong and how they can improve. We are all egoistic people, not to take feedback from anyone. So it's a challenge in itself. So it's like selling a product. So strategy is, don't tell them what you want to tell them, but actually tell them what they want to hear, but using your own words, so that in such a way that the person will actually feel that, yes, these are actually things which I should have noted and I missed it. It's a realization. It's not pointing out mistake, but making the person realize where he or she could have improved for the betterment of the person. So strategy has to be different. It's not what you have seen yourself, but probably if it was her doing the evaluation, she would have also noted, he or she would have noted the same changes. So that's my strategy. Always I try to follow.
That is very nice. It is always to be positive to make them feel good when they actually get this feedback, right? So having said that, how to give the 360-degree evaluation in all the areas? Are there any techniques that one can adopt to give well-rounded evaluation?
To give a very good evaluation, you need to customize the evaluation. And what I mean by customization is, you don't give an evaluation from the textbook. Okay, you do this, you do that. No, that's not what evaluation is all about. If you're giving a speech today on a certain topic, evaluation must be based on the topic itself, on that speech itself. And how you do that? I do it by taking the words and the theme of that particular speech as my evaluation. So let's say you're talking about your children and the way they're growing up. So My talk, my evaluation will be how you will evaluate your children in your house, how you behave with them in that same tone, in the same theme. I'll probably give you the evaluation back. So customizing the evaluation will give you a 360-degree angle to it, because then you're covering all aspects, because you're not giving a general evaluation, but you're giving a very specific, because the specific aspects of that particular speech will be relevant for all of the speeches to come for that person. So he or she will connect automatically, because what is reflecting on that speech is what that person is all doing all the time. So it's very important to understand that.
Okay, so we need to focus on the theme and as well as what they are actually is a core value which they're going to speak about it. That's very good. So having said all these 360-degree, I think it will take time for us to evaluate those person, right? So in that case, how can we effectively manage time to organize the evaluation speech?
Evaluation, it's not about quantity. It's not about the number of recommendations that we keep giving the person. It's not about that. It's the quality of the evaluation that you give.
Okay, so since we have discussed about the 360-degree evaluation, so it is also important to manage about the time. So how can we effectively manage time to organize the evaluation speech? Go ahead, Abhishek.
Evaluation is all about qualitative analysis. It's not about the quantity. It's not about the number of recommendation that you will give, but it's about the quality of the recommendation that you're going to give. So which means that I can give an evaluation for 10 minutes, but it will not make any sense to you. And that's why Toastmasters designed this particular evaluation segment for 2 to 3 minutes exactly. Because a crisp evaluation is what your intention, what is the intention of your evaluation? Is to make the speaker remember those points, to incorporate them in your future speeches. That's how value you can put for the speaker, right? So there's no point in giving a 10-minute evaluation for a 7-minute speech. You need to make it small, crisp, 2 to 3 minutes. Major point is that you evaluate in a very crisp way to only point out the things that he or she can improve. Doing a session with a speaker will take days together. An evaluation cannot do justice to it. But what you are doing is you are just evaluating a few aspects of that speech of that person to help the person develop better. So keep it short, keep it always time bound. In fact, I don't even go to 2 to 3 minutes. I always say close it by 2.5 minutes. There's no point in going on and on and on with things. You're talking about something, make it short, sweet, something that you will remember. Easy to remember, that's what.
That's very nice. Short and sweet speech will always be welcomed by most of the people. Is it important to conclude? What methods do you prescribe for conclusion?
Any speech, be it evaluation, be it international speech, be it anything in life, actually, you need to conclude. Because you need to give a summary of what you have said for this 2 to 3 minutes. As you start speaking, ideas will start to flow on your head, and you'll be transferring that message to the speaker. But at the end of it, you need to make a short summary, a few key points, a few take-home points, which will make the difference in the person. I can rattle out a number of things to remember. I can talk about it for hours together. But if I can give a 30-second summary, that will help the person to remember it better. So summary is most important. The conclusion is absolutely important. Important in conclusion is to also motivate the speaker. Because see, when you're going to give the person some points to improve, obviously you're talking something that he or she has not done correctly. So you have put the person a little bit down, morally. So you need to build up the energy in that person. And how you do that in the conclusion? You motivate the conclusion, you inspire in the conclusion for the speaker so that he or she will actually take your points, incorporate them, and come back stronger for the next project.
Yeah, it's good to motivate people for during the conclusion, and that's good. And that's good.
Absolutely.
So how should a Toastmaster prepare for an evaluation contest?
The best way is to polish your table topic skills. Now you might ask, how is that? Why is that? The question is simple.
Both are impromptu.
Yes, because the point I told before is good evaluation is not about general topics about evaluation. It's about customizing. How you customize is only when you listen to that speech and make your evaluation based on the speech that you just heard. Now, this is going to be challenging. You cannot prepare for something which you've just heard in a short time unless you're good at your table topic skills. You're on the spot, impromptu thinking, and the way how to react to it will pay off as a standalone or an outstanding evaluator. So you have to always analyze. A speech is given. The speech has some points which he or she could have been improved, and you need to take it on immediately. That's why I said use the same points of the speech itself. Customize the speech, the evaluation from the speech of the speaker. Take words, take themes, and how do you do that? If you cannot understand and impromptu make the whole thing together, you will not be able to give a good evaluation.
That's a good
so
technique.
It's very important. Yeah, stable
good...
topics is the most important for you to think on your feet and use that in your evaluation. It always helps.
That's a very good technique, Abhishek.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a very good technique, Abhishek, for using table topics as a preparation for the evaluation context. As a champion evaluator, what is your advice to the new Toastmasters to prepare themselves for the evaluation contest?
For a new Toastmaster to do an evaluation, the first thing that he or she must put in the back of his mind is that the only reason you do an evaluation is to motivate the speaker. If you are not doing that, then you're not serving the purpose of an evaluation. The moment you put that in the back of your head, that it's evaluate to motivate.
Yes.
Then all your words that you're going to use, the techniques that you're going to use, your whole approach is going to change. It's going to be in the thought process of, I need to improve this person's speech. And how I do that, let me think on those lines. So when your thought is aligned towards motivating the speaker, automatically what you will write, what you will say, and how you will say will come in that positive angle. You will see yourself that, when you think on those lines, you will not use harsh words. You will not be harsh on the way you evaluate. You'll be gentle, you'll be nice, you'll be in a way that is acceptable by the speaker. So my suggestion to all the new people who are trying to do evaluation, first of all, don't be scared. Go ahead, do the evaluation. You will take some time to evolve out of it, to understand, to differentiate between yourself and the remaining. But keep observing the people who are already doing it well. So that's something that you can learn from. I did that, of course. And to remember that you are only evaluating to motivate the speaker. That's your duty. I think that will help them a lot.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Abhishek. That was a wonderful piece of advice which you had given. And that's a final question I had. And thank you so much for your valuable time and knowledge that you had shared with us today. Hope this will help all the budding evaluators in their Toastmasters journey. Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah, I hope for that. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And this is Juliet signing off.